Right, I got a bit carried away with myself. I've ended up producing these videos which were just for my under 18, based on the fact that they are currently playing 5-a-side, but we're starting to dabble in more 7-a-side games, and in order to get them prepared for next season, I thought let's try and, because we don't really get the time in the sessions to cover the bases when it comes to the requirements of different positions on the pitch. So we're starting to get a bit more intelligent now. And as a result, like I say, I got carried away, produced these videos, thought how am I going to share them with the players. One thing led to another. I was on YouTube and then started going down a rabbit hole of how you produce YouTube videos. And basically now I'm a big player in the online YouTube world, okay, as a YouTuber, something like that. As a coach, I pretty much taught Pep Guardiola everything he knows. I've never met him, but whenever he does something, when I watch his matches, I always think like, yeah, I probably would have done that. So I'm basically a big influence on Pep Guardiola. So I'm a big deal. If you find these videos useful, coaches, parents, you might want to share them with your kids. Excellent stuff. The first video is a deep dive on the introduction of the 2-3-1 formation, followed by the next video, which is all about playing out from the back. Just ideas of what you could do when they're playing out. The second video is when you're in the other team's half, you've got possession of the ball, or you've just broken to the other team's half, how you're going to end up scoring goals, the ultimate aim. And then 3 is what you do when you lose the ball, how you react, because the requirements become very different all of a sudden. So yeah, I've done those videos, and I produced this at the start of the videos because some fellow on YouTube said that's what you're supposed to do, like to hook people in. I don't know. If you find them useful, great stuff. If not, move on. There's other stuff to see on the internet, isn't there? Hey guys, hope you're well. I put together this tactical meeting to talk about the 2-3-1 formation that we see in 7-a-side games. That applies to the under 9s and under 10s age group. Currently a coach under 8s, and we play this 2-3-1 formation when we do 7-a-side. We try and arrange them when we can in order to get them prepared for next year, gets the lads more minutes on the pitch and enjoying their football. We try not to burden the guys too much with formations, but then again, at 5-a-side, we've already provided structure in the sense that we play at least one defender, sometimes 2, when we play what we call a sword formation, which is useful because when we play 2-3-1 at 7-a-side, they're going to hopefully have a bit more understanding of how it works. And also, we try and tell our player up front to stay upfield as well and provide an outlet and be an attacker. So yeah, you're joining me on this chilly morning, snowing away. I'm clutching onto a hot drink to power me through. I appreciate, guys, for those under 8 lads and things. This can come across as a bit bland, a bit boring, not really understanding the benefits of it, but honestly, you're going to get a lot of knowledge bombs in here, if I do say so myself, and it's really going to help you on the pitch on Saturdays, Sundays, whenever you play, to really make the most of the matches. You know, winning games, yeah, that's great, but on top of that, you're going to create lots of chances, lots of goals, concede less, which again is another thing that we want to aim for, and then hopefully mean you're having more fun. It's not designed to be like a joystick coaching, so what that means is we're not saying do this, do that, you must stand here when this happens, but it is going to give you a number of tips. I'm going to present a few scenarios of what to do when in possession and out of possession. All right, the video will also hopefully be useful for parents who might be sitting down with their lad and going through a boy or girl and talking about what they see before them, prodding their kid to keep them awake as whilst they're zoning out and asking can they play Roblox. Also, the parent, the coaches may find this useful too. Obviously, if you're experienced, then I'm not teaching you anything you already know, but it might just plant the seed about or focusing your thoughts about what you want the kids to be focused more on, and maybe even inspire some exercises or sessions that you do with the lads, who knows. But yeah, hopefully you find it useful. So what I've done, I've split it up into 3 videos, okay, and I do encourage the kids to watch this, maybe not all the way through, or in future weeks go back to it and just break it up in sections. I'm going to produce 3 videos anyway, and this first one is going to talk about not just the 2-3-1 formation, but the initial phase 1 of when you're building out from the back and you're in possession. The next phase is phase 2, where you've got the ball into the other team's half, and how you're going to exploit space and how you're going to penetrate and create lots of cool attacks using this formation. And then phase 3 finally is when we lose possession, because sadly we will lose the ball from time to time, more so than not, and we need to be able to react quickly. Okay, and it's working out realizing what are the most important things to focus on when we lose possession of the ball. Okay, so they're the 3 phases we're going to talk about. So without further ado, let's talk about the 2-3-1 formation. It says 1-2-3-1 up there. Try not to be confused. The 1 just applies to the goalkeeper in this instance, but every team has a goalkeeper, so you could just call it 2-3-1. So we've got 2 defenders here. Really need to work together. Okay, we've affectionately called, when we play 2 at the back, 1 the rock, who needs to be disciplined, strong-willed, determined, not getting too ahead of themselves by bombing forwards, making sure the goal side of the players they're playing against. What we say to the other guy is we call him Dora the Explorer, so he can go off on a little journey, try and help out the midfield, help out the attacks, but has to be mindful that when we lose the ball, you've got to get back and help the rock. Now, okay, as they get older, the communication we hope will be better, and they can switch roles accordingly, and some can go forwards at different times. But just to make it clear in the kids, we say, no, you're staying here, be disciplined, and you work with what you've got in terms of the player personalities. Some are more suited to different roles than others, of course. All right, so there are 2 at the back, and we've got 3 in midfield. What's great about 7-a-side with this formation is that hopefully the boys can start to see the benefits of holding width, of getting out wide. The 5-a-side doesn't really allow that so much because your midfielders are basically running everywhere the ball is. Here, you're able to provide a bit of structure, hopefully be in space and provide an outlet and be a switch ball in order to change the direction of attacks. So that's why it's really cool. Your centre midfielder really needs to be a very talented player, doesn't he? Because he's got to play in the middle of the park. He's going to try and knit things together with great passes, always be in support. So therefore he's got to have lots of energy, lots of stamina to be able to help out in defence, and therefore he needs to be tough, ready to get stuck in, win the ball back for his team, but also he needs to be creative and get forwards and help the attacker, because in this formation, the attackers on their own in many ways, so it's up to the wingers and the midfielder to really get near them, help them out, and try and outnumber the opposition. All right, so we'll move the video forwards. See you on the other side.